Good morning, everyone. Welcome to MBA Karo. So, Snap 3 is the last attempt of Snap this year, and many of you must have appeared on the first two attempts, and some of you might not have appeared on the first two and targeting only Snap 3. So, we are going to have a marathon session for this third test, and it will include all the different kind of questions, be it geometry, be it number system, algebra, arithmetic, modern math, everything. Okay, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is the best channel for all MBA entrance examinations, and please do like this video and share it with your friends as well. And you can follow us on social media platforms as well for more content like PDFs of our sessions, some freebies for different MBA entrance examinations, and our upcoming offerings, etc. And in case you are still wanting to take tests for Snap, because Snap is where you need to practice a lot, and in the end, if you practice several tests, you can definitely boost up your speed, so you can take our mock test as well. Okay, all right, so let's begin with the first question. So it says a solid sphere of radius 6 centimeter is melted into a hollow cylinder of uniform thickness. If the external radius of the base of the cylinder is 5 centimeter and its height is 32 centimeter, find the uniform thickness of the cylinder. So we have a sphere which is melted into a hollow cylinder, and the external radius of the cylinder is given to us and its height is given. We need to find the thickness of the cylinder. So in mensuration, the most common problem in 3D mensuration is basically transforming one object into another. So the basic principle, the fundamental is same, that volume is constant. So volume of sphere is equal to volume of the cylinder that we are making. Okay. And in this case, the cylinder that we are making is a hollow cylinder. It says that hollow cylinder. So hollow cylinder is like this. Okay, what is the volume of a cylinder? Pi r square h. Okay, now there is internal as well as this is the internal part, and this is the total cylinder. The outer one is the total one. So volume of this substance is outer volume minus inner volume. So you can say pi r square h minus pi r square h, or you can say pi h common r square minus r square. So r is the external radius and r is the internal radius. Okay, and r minus r gives the thickness of the substance. Okay, so we need to check. Okay, so let's see this question. Right, so let's solve this problem. Volume of sphere is pi 4 by 3 pi r cube. So r is 6, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 6 cube, that is equal to volume of cylinder pi h r square minus r square. So pi h is 32, then r square minus r square. So external radius is 5 centimeter. So 5 square minus r square. R is the internal radius. Okay, so that is the equation that we will get. Now we will remove pi. Okay, so 525 minus r square is equal to 4 by 3 into 216 divided by 32. So this becomes 72. and 8 times and 9, right? So r is equal to 4. R, you will get r equal to 4, right? By using in this, putting in this expression and solving for r, you will get r as 4. So the thickness is, external radius is 5, internal radius is 4, thickness will be 1 centimeter. Okay, so those who got the answer as 1 centimeter, 1 marks to you. Okay, so the thickness is outer radius minus inner radius, so that we need to find. So we did not have to tell the internal radius or internal diameter, we had to tell the thickness of the substance. So r is the external radius from the center to this point. So this small thing is r, and capital R is the complete radius from center till here. So thickness is r minus r, which is 1 centimeter. Okay, so let's see the next question. The number of students who have opted for subjects A, B, and C is 60, 84, and 108 respectively. The examination is to be conducted for those students such that only students of the same subject are allowed in one room. Also, the number of students in each room must be the same. What is the minimum number of rooms that should be arranged to meet all these conditions? So, you must have seen this thing that questions based on HCF and LCM have been asked in. Okay, I guess there is a lag, yes. So there is power cut due to which there is a lag. I think we are connected back now. Okay, so I've connected through the hotspot system. So, are you able to see the video? Also, the video will correct in a short while. So, I hope the audio part is clear. All right, so let's look at the question. So it says that there are three subjects A, B, and C, and the number of students is this. We have to conduct uh, in examination such that only students of the same subject are allowed in one room. Okay, and we need to have the number of students in room. Each room should be same. So we will create a room. So room one will have some students. Room two will have some students. Room 3 will have some students, room 4 will have some students, and so on. Okay, it says number of students in each room should be same, so we have same number of students. And one room will have only students of the same subject are allowed in one room. So for example, in this, students of class A, in this B, C, anything, like it is not necessary that they have to be alternate or something. You have to put only one kind of students in one room. Okay, now we need to tell that minimum number of rooms. So minimum number of rooms will happen when there are max students in one room. If there are maximum students in a room, then you will need the minimum number of rooms. So maximum students in a room will be what? So we can have one student, two student. So basically, max students in a room is the HCF of these numbers. So that will be the HCF. So what is the HCF of 60, 84, and 108? The HCF is 12, right? So the HCF is 12. So for this class, you need 5 students. For this, you need 7 rooms. And for this class, we need 9 rooms. So in all, we need a total of 21 rooms. So please cover HCF and LCM and their varieties. Okay, there were questions on like HCF and LCM in both the slots. So you can expect questions like these. Like there was a question based on tiles also which was asked, right? What is the minimum number of tiles required, etc. So cover these concepts well, because snap is testing each and every concept. You should be thorough with all concepts. Okay, so here's the next question. It says 4 men and 16 women can complete a piece of work in 10 days. 10 children and 12 women can complete the same work in 12 days. 5 children and 6 men can complete the same work in 15 days. In how many days will thrice the work be completed by 6 men, 8 women, and 20 children? So we have men, women, and children doing the work. You need to tell that 6 men, 8 women, 20 children, and thrice the work. So this is a question that is worth skipping. So in the examination, it is about picking the right set of questions. Like if you get this kind of a question, obviously question worth skipping in the first go, because it is going to take some time forming equations and solving it. So let's make this equation. We have 4 men and 16 women. They completed 10 days. Okay. So 4m plus 16w in 10 days, right? That is equal to 10 children plus 12 women in 12 days, and that is equal to 5 children plus 6 men in 15 days. Okay, so we need to find the work done by 6 men, 8 women, and 20 children. So we have 40m plus 160 women, that is equal to 120 children plus 144 women, and that is equal to 75 children plus 90 men. Okay, so what we will have to do is we will have to take two at a time to figure out the relation. Like for example, if we take this becomes 40m plus 160 women. Mm, we will take, let's take these two. So we will get 16 women is equal to 120 children minus 40 men. Okay, so uh, this means we are having 16 women is this. Like when we are subtracting 16 women is 120 children minus 10 m 40 m, right? So we can like multiply this by 10 and insert here. Okay, and multiply this by into 10 can be inserted here, into 9 can be inserted here. So let's insert in one of these. So if you multiply 10 times, we have 40m plus 1200c minus 400m. That equals to 75 children plus 90 men. Okay, so you will have too many uh, equations, right? So uh, we will get 360 1200 children minus 360 men, that is equal to 75 children plus 90 m, or 1125 children is equal to 450 m, right? 25 se divided by that will be 18, and 45, that is 5 and 2, right? So 5 children is equal to 2m. So men efficiency is 5, children efficiency will be 2, right? So we can put it in any of these equations. 20 sorry, यहाँ पे men and child will put here. So that is 20 30 plus 10 40 40. This total is 600. 600 4m is 20, 20 plus this should be 60. So women efficiency will come as 2.5, right? So that is the efficiencies, and total work is 600 here. So now the overall work is 1800 into 3, and 6m will mean 30, and 8 women will mean 20, and 20 children will mean uh, 40 units. Okay, so that is 90. 1800 by 90, the answer will be 20 days. Okay, so if you get this kind of a question, definitely a question worth skipping in the examination. Okay, because considering the amount of time we have, uh, we will get it, like it will take a lot of time to do it. Okay, let's see that if there is a better way. 10, 12, 15, 60 is the work. So 4m plus 4m plus 16 women is input efficiency is 6, 5, and basically you will get three variables. So you'll have to solve the equation in three variables and then get the result. Okay, so it is about, see, in the examination, instead of cribbing the paper difficult it makes sense to leave such questions. Okay, there are definitely some questions which are not worth attempting in the exam, and that is the key to attempting the paper. Okay, so let's try this question. It says Divya purchased 6 mangoes, 10 oranges, and 5 apples for a certain amount. With 40% less amount, Aru could purchase 3 mangoes, 5 oranges, and 4 apples. What percentage of the total amount did Divya spend on apples? In my place today, I don't know the reason why. So the person has purchased 6 mangoes, 10 oranges, and 5 apples for a certain amount. With 40% lesser amount, this person has purchased 3 mangoes, 5 oranges, and 4 apples. Now you would say there are two variables, okay, and two equations and three variables. But if you notice it, three mangoes and six mangoes, right? Just double kar do. So let us say five mangoes plus 10 orange plus five apple. Okay, so let us say X, Y, Z. Let's put the variables. So she spent 100 rupees. Then second person spent three mangoes plus five oranges plus 4 apples for 60 rupees, 40% less. So it's a double kar do. So we will get, sorry, this was 6 mangoes. So 6x plus 10y plus 8z is equal to 120. Okay, so that's what we get if we double this amount. So when we subtract, we will get 3z is equal to 20 rupees. Right. Now we are asking what percentage of total amount did Divya spend on apples. So 3z is 20. So 5z, Divya spent 5z on apples. Right. So 5z will be equal to 3z is 20. Z will be 20 by 3. And into 5, that is 100 by 3, which is 33.33 rupees. So the answer is 33.333%. Okay, so this was like basically eliminating the variable. So if you notice it, it is 3 mangoes and 6 mangoes, 5 oranges and 10 oranges. Okay, so you can calculate it this way. A 1.5-meter tall boy is standing some distance from a 30-meter tall building. The angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 degree to 60 degree as he walks towards the building. Find the distance he walked towards the building. So there's a boy standing at some distance, okay, and he walks towards the building, and the change in angle of elevation is given to us. So we need to find the distance that the boy walked. So heights and distances, trigonometry is a key topic which is being tested in Snap this year. Okay, not this year, just every year you get questions from trigonometry. So one should prepare for trigonometry. We also had a video on uh, like session also on heights and distances. So let's solve this question. So there is a person, he is 1.5-meter tall, and there is a 30-meter tall building. Okay, so the building look is 30 meter. This is 1.5 meters. And the angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 degree to 60 degree. So the angle is 30 degree initially, and then he walks some distance, and this angle becomes 60 degrees. Okay, so we need to find the angle of elevation from his eyes. So assume that eyes are like the distance from eyes till the height is negligible, right? So maybe it was just 5 centimeter or less, isn't it? It won't be like 50 centimeter or something. So it is negligible, right? So we need to find the distance that this person moved from. We need to find the distance from here till here, the distance that he moved. So the height of the building is 30 meters. Okay. Now this portion from here till here is 1.5. So the remaining portion is 28.5 meters. Okay. And we need to find this distance. Now let us say this distance is x, right? So when you consider this 60, this is 60 and 30, 60, 90 triangle. If this is x, so this will be 28.5 will be equal to root 3 times of x. Okay, so root 3 times of x. And when you consider the other triangle, that is the this triangle, this is 28.5. Okay, and we know that it is root 3 times. So 28.5 into root 3. Okay, so that is the length over here. Okay, so we have this distance is 28.5 into root 3. So 28.5 is taken as root 3x into root 3. This will be 3x. So this distance is 3x. Okay, and this distance will be, the remaining distance will be 2x. Right, now we need to find that what is the distance that he moved. So 28.5 is root 3, or x is basically 28.5 by root 3, right? We need to find 2x. So from this we get x equal to 28.5 upon root 3, right? And this is 2x. So that is equal to, this is 2x will be 57 by root 3. 57 by root 3. 57 is 19 into 3 upon root 3. So root 3 will make it root 3. So the answer is 19 root 3 meters. Okay, so the answer is 19 root 3. So if you got 19 root 3, that is the right answer. Yeah, it is about these ratios only: 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90. Just visualize the problem and put these ratios, because tan लगाओगे वो सब लगाओगे, it is uh, like time consuming. And if you practice, if you have practiced like particularly let us say 40, 50 questions on heights and distances, then that would be more than enough, because by that time you will be remembering ki ye two times ho jayega. Like you could directly tell without even putting the 30, 60, 90 rule. You would be knowing that okay, this is two times the length. Okay, but that's fine, like since you have to cover other topics also, so it is fine that you apply it and get the result. Okay, next question. A total of 560 chairs and tables were manufactured. The ratio of the number of chairs to tables produced is 13 ratio 15. The ratio of the number of damaged chairs to tables is 2 ratio 1. And the ratio of number of undamaged chairs to tables is 7 ratio 12. Find the total number of damaged chairs and undamaged tables. So this problem says that there are chairs and tables, and some of them are damaged and some are undamaged. Okay, so we need to find the total number of damaged chairs and undamaged tables. Okay, so we have 560 chairs. Now this thing is simple: 13 ratio 15, 28 parts. So one part is 20. Okay, so chairs and tables Total is 260 and 300, right? We have a ratio of number of damaged chairs to tables is 2 ratio 1. So damaged is 2 ratio 1. So 2x and x, right? So this is undamaged. That is given in the ratio 7 ratio 12. So 260 minus 2x, and this will be 300 minus x. So this ratio is 7 ratio 12. Right now, if you take this thing, you will say 260 minus 2x upon 300 minus x is equal to 7 by 12, right? Undamaged chairs to tables. Now, one thing like obviously which most of you know is you do cross multiplication, right? So let's do by this also, and then I'll tell you one interesting way to solve such equations. 2100 minus 7x. So when you bring it this side, 17x will be equal to, this will be 1020, or x is 60. At x is 60, we need to find the total number of damaged chairs and undamaged tables. So damaged chairs are 120 and undamaged tables are 240. So the total turns out to be 360. Are you getting 360? 360 is the answer. Okay, so I'll tell you an interesting way to solve such equations is see, in these questions, like of course, cross multiplication se ho gaya. What if there were larger variables or larger values? Okay, so what we can do is, see, we need to make one of these, like try to make the variable same. ठीक है, पहले क्या करेंगे, variable same बनाएंगे. It is minus 2x. Let us make this as minus 2x. So basically we will have to multiply by 2. Now this technique, I mean, the disclaimer is this, right? Like some of you may not be able to understand this concept, but yes, if you are able to, then it is great. Okay. See, the thing is, like, try to equate the variable. Okay, so we can make it like 260 minus 2x, and in the denominator we have 600 minus 2x. Okay, and that is 7 by 24 because we multiplied the denominator part of both sides by 2x by 2. Okay, so what we will do here is, now if you see, the gap is 340 and the gap is 17. Okay, so we will equate the gap, multiply by 20, so we will get 140 and 480. Okay, so the gap is now same. Now we will get the equation like 260 minus 2x is equal to 140, or you can take denominator also, you will get the same result. So that gives us x equal to 60. So that is another way of solving these equations. Okay, that gap concept. Okay, if you can apply these, great. If not, you can simply do the cross multiplication. Okay, all right. So let us see the next question. There are 12 electronic shops next to each other in Chandni Chowk. An appraiser decides to make a surprise visit to three of the shops. In how many ways can he make the visit such that no two of the shops he visits are next to each other? So the person has to visit three shops, right, such that they are not consecutive. So this is the concept of non-consecutive selection. So basically, he has to visit three shops. So let us first put 9 shops that he does not visit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now these will become the barriers. Okay, so these become the barriers. So these 9 shops will become barriers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can place the remaining shops in these gaps. Okay, so these 9 shops are barriers. That means he has 10 shops, and he has to pick 3 out of them. So 10C3. So 10C3 is 1098 by 6. So that is 12 into 10, 120 ways. Okay, so whenever you have gap, like you have to create a barrier. So place the shops that he is not going to visit. Okay, so similar kind of questions are like this, that there are 12 people and there are 3 boys. So in how many ways can they stand that the boys are, no two boys are together? So we will create barrier using girls, and there we will apply the principle of the permutations. Here we just have to select the shops. There you will do the arrangement also. So first try to place the things that he is not visiting. So make them as barriers. So you will have one extra space, right? So you have 10 spaces, and you have to put 3 shops in any of these 10 spaces. So they can come in any 3 spaces. So 10C3 will be the answer. N is a number which, when divided by 12, leaves a remainder of 7, when divided by 15, leaves a remainder of 10, and when divided by 16, leaves a remainder of 11. How many 3-digit numbers can N assume? So, similar questions were asked, like similar question was asked in Snap 2 also. Just that it did not ask how many values of N, it asked the least value of N. So let's see this, how many values of N are possible. Okay, so like see, we have divided by 11, 12 leaves a remainder of 7, divided by 15 leaves a remainder of 10, and divided by 16 leaves a remainder of 11. So that means like N, if you add 5 to it, see the difference is same, the difference is 5. From 15 also the difference is 5, the difference is 5. So if you add 5 to it, right, n plus 5, it is divisible by 12, it is divisible by 15 also, it is divisible by 16 also, right? So n plus 5 is multiple of 12, 15, and 16. Okay, so this is a multiple of 12, 15, and 16. So 12, 15, 16, what is the LCM? That is like 16 into 15, 240. Yes, so that is 240, multiple of 240. So n plus 5 is a multiple of 240. So n can be 235, 475, right? And this will be 715 and 955. So there are 4 values of n, right? So it should be none of these basically. Okay, so there are 4 values that we will get. Okay, so question based on application of LCM and remainder. So this was a similar question was asked. They had asked the least value of that number. I mean, the values were different. The answer, I guess, was 1196, because the LCM we were getting was 1200. So similar question was asked in Snap this time. If log 10(2) is 0.301 and log 10(3) is 0.477, find the value of log 72. So what is the value of log 72? So this is fairly simple. I mean, if one has studied logs, this is uh, uh, an easy question to do. So we need to find log 72. Now 72 is what? 8 into 9. Right? 8 is 2 cube and 3 square. So we can write log 72. I'm ignoring the base because everywhere we're using the 10 as the base. So we can say log 8 into 9. Right? So that becomes log 8 plus log 9. Okay. Log 8 can be written as log 2 cube and log 9 can be written as log 3 square. So we can write 3 times of whenever we have power it comes this side 3 log 2 plus 2 log 3. So just plug in the values. 3 into this will be 903 and 2 into this is 954. So adding we will get 1857. That will be the answer. So typical question on the properties of logarithms. In the second slot, there were no questions, but in first slot, I think there were a couple of questions. So please do prepare log also because like you may get one or two questions from this topic. I hope you are enjoying this session. So please don't forget to like this video. And if you are preparing for the next year or know someone who is preparing for the next year, please do recommend our institute to them. So we are launching this self-paced batch for CAT and OMETs, and this will be the price of this, and it will cover like solve questions from basic to advanced on all topics. Right, you will get topic-wise practice sheets, doubt resolution group, and there will be periodic live classes that will be doubt classes, and we will not only cover just the CAT portion, but in VA and LR we will cover the OMED topics also. So this would be the best course that one could get, and we have had several feedback from students, right, who had enrolled elsewhere, some grid, some other places, and several other places they have enrolled into or including the top ones, and later on they realized that our institute was better than them. So if you wish to recommend someone, please do recommend our institute to them. So here's the next one. It says that water flows into a tank 260-meter and into 180-meter through a rectangular pipe at 20 km per hour. In what time will the water rise by 2 meters? So let's look at this question. So there is a tank. Okay. So always remember that like we have volume as a three-dimensional thing. So volume is area into one of the heights, right? It could be height or breadth into or length. That will depend on the parameter. So we are given uh, the base area, okay, and we need to find the height. So water rise, that is the height we need to find. So height we need to find, the volume we need to find, and area is given to us. Now how do we find the volume? So volume of this tank is area of the base into height. Area of the base is known to us, okay, height we need to find. And how do you find the volume? The volume is fill rate into time. So basically height is also given to us essentially. Volume is area into height. Height is given. We need to find the time basically. Right? We need to find how much time does it take. So we will equate this area into height, that is equal to fill rate into time. So that is how we equate it. We need to find the time. So area is 260 into 180, right? And height is 2. And fill rate. Fill rate is how much? Fill rate is again area into speed. Area into speed. Yeah, 1.95 meters, right? 1.95 is the this 1.5 and 20 kilometer per hour, right? So 20 kilometer per hour, this is kilometer, and everything is being discussed is in meters. So 20 kilometer means 20,000. 20,000. Now what we will do is into t. Now since it is 20,000 and we have three zeros, and we can eliminate one decimal point and two decimal points. So we can put 195 into 15 into 20 into t. So simplifying this, we will get the equation like this. So t is basically 260 into 180 into 2 by 195 into 15 into 20. Okay, so 4 by 3, right? 15 12 times is 180, and this is upon 10, and this is 3 times, sorry, 4 times. So 4 into 4, that is 1.6. So time is 1.6. Now we are discussing everything in terms of hours. So that is 1.6 hour, which is equal to 96 minutes. So the answer is 96 minutes. So just you have to frame equations and solve for the variable. Okay, so you got 96 as the answer. That is right. There are two positive numbers m and n. When m is divided by 158, the remainder is 97. When n is divided by 185, the quotient is the same, but the remainder is 64. Find the remainder when the sum of m and n is divided by 49. So you need to find the value, find the remainder when sum of m and n is divided by 49. So there are two numbers m and n. M is divided by 158, remainder is 97. So m is equal to 158 into x plus 97. Okay, remainder is that additional thing. And when n is divided by 185, the quotient is the same. What is the quotient here? X. So that means n is 185x plus 64. Okay, so we have two numbers, right? So we are asked that remainder when sum of m and n. What is m plus n? M plus n is 343x plus 161, right? So m plus n, we need to divide it by 49. Okay, so we can say that 343x can be written as 49 into 7x. 161 can be written as 49 into 3 plus 14. If we take out 49 common, it is 7x plus 3 plus 14. This portion is divisible by 49, right? This is divisible by 49, so the remainder is 14. So basic rule of remainders, that remainder, like we have dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, so divisor is 158, divisor is the number by which we divide. So quotient was x and remainder is 97. In second case, the quotient is same and divisor is 185. So just adding and getting the result. So when we divide by 49, this is the divisor, this is the quotient, and remainder is the extra thing that remains. So that is 14. Two observers A and B are standing at different locations and on the ground and are both looking at a hot air balloon directly above them. Observer A looking towards the north has an angle of elevation of 30 degrees to the balloon. Observer B looking towards the west has an angle of elevation of 60 degrees. If the distance between the observers A and B is 600 meters, what is the height of the hot air balloon above the ground? So the similar question was asked in Snap this time, and uh, in that height of the tower was given. You had to find the distance between the people. So I reframed the question with different thing. Here the distance between the people is given. We need to find it. So we need to find the height of the balloon. So in the examination, similar question was asked if someone appeared on slot 2 day test 2 slot 1, they must have noticed that height of the tower was given. You had to find the distance between the people. Okay, here we are given that the distance between the people is given. We need to find the height of the balloon. So we have two people. So this is a 3D heights and distances question. So A and B are starting at different locations, and observer A is looking towards the north. So this is the balloon, okay, and this is observer A looking towards north. So observer A is at this point, and observer B is looking towards the west. So this is B. He is looking towards the west, right? And observer A is looking at an angle of 30 degrees and observer B is looking at an angle of 60 degrees. So obviously B will be closer. Okay. Now we will make two triangles to understand the distance between the balloon A and B. Right. So how are we going to make it? So if you see 30 degree, forget which direction they are looking from. Take a north, south, don't worry about it. So if some person is looking at 30 degree and this height is h, this length will be root 3h, isn't it? So this distance from balloon to A will be root 3h. Got it? Like this is a 3D thing. Balloon is not at the ground. Balloon is flying somewhere above the ground. Okay. But at the base point is this. Okay. So if you are looking at 30 degree of height h, the distance is root 3h. Is it clear? Root 3h. Now if you are looking at something at 60 degrees, and the height of that object is h, this will be h upon root 3. Okay, so we will say that it is h upon root 3. So distance between this point, let us say this point at x, the balloon is flying in the sky. So this is h upon root 3, this is root 3h. What we are given, the distance between A and B is 600 meters. So the distance between A and B on the ground is 600 meters. Okay, so what is 600? We will have to take Like again, see this thing. If you notice it, it will again be 30, 60, 90 triangle. How? If you see this 30, 60, 90 but double twice, no, 30, 16 even, right? H root 3, this is, we do not know this value, right? We do not know the ratios. So, like, we need to find the value of H, right? So, we have H upon root 3 ka whole square plus root 3H ka whole square, that is equal to 600. Pythagoras theorem in this triangle, right? So I hope you got how we got h and root 3h, because if you are looking at a balloon from this point, forget that east, west, north, south. Okay, so there can be any two directions at 90 degrees. So if the height is h and you're looking at 30 degree, the distance is root 3h. So A is root 3h distance and B is h by root 3 distance. So this is 600. Okay, so when we multiply it, we will get h square by 9 plus 9h square. Okay, sorry, 3h square. H square, sorry, h square by 3 plus 3h square is equal to 600, or इसको square हटा दो, that will be 36 followed by 4 zeros. Okay, so we get 10h square, h square plus 9h square, 10h square by 3 is equal to 36 followed by 4 zeros. Okay, isn't it? So h square will be 36,000 into 3, so that is 108 triple zero. Okay, so we need to find h. H square is 108 followed by triple zeros. H will be how much? That is root 30 कुछ अलग आ रहा है क्या, like 60 root 30? Yes, I guess it is coming different, like 60 root 30 are, I guess. So H is 60. We will take 3600 common, 3600 common, 36 into 3 and 1 0, so 30. So H will come as 60 root 30, I guess. 60 root 30 will be the answer to this, right? If you're getting 60 root 30, so that will be the answer. So 60 root 30. My bad, the options are wrong. I took it uh, like I made a mistake in the calculations which I did. So it will be, let's just take it as 60 root 30. Okay, 60 root 30 will be the answer to this question. So this we are using trigonometry only, na? कौन सी algebra थोड़ी use कर रहे हैं? What is trigonometry? Trigonometry is the study of triangles, isn't it? So the answer you will get is 60 root 30, not among the given options. So that will be your answer. Okay. All right. Let's see the next question. A train of 245 meters length crosses a platform of double its length in 45 seconds. Another train coming from opposite direction of length 364 meter with speed 63 kilometer per hour will cross the first train in how much time? We already have a video on trigonometry. You can check our channel. Like 2022, we had uploaded some heights and distances related questions. So you can check it out. So there is a 245-meter length train. It crosses, so the distance is 245, double its length. That means into 3 is the distance. Time is 45 seconds. So speed of the train is 245 into 3 by 45. Okay, so and we can, since they are in like kilometer per hour, and this we will get in meter per second, so better we can convert into kilometer per hour also, so we can put 18 by 5 also for converting into kilometer per hour. Okay, so that will be 2 by 5 is 49, and 49 into 6 is 294. So 49 into 6, 294 by 5 is 48.8, and 58.8. 294 is 58.8 kilometer per hour. Or we can keep it in meter per second also. That is perfectly fine, because ultimately we have to solve in seconds. So not necessary. Like, it is covering 245 into 3 in 45 seconds, right? That is the distance. So by 15, and we will get 49, and by 5. Okay, so this is 9.8 meter per second. That is speed of train A. Another train coming from opposite direction of length 264 meter with speed 63 kilometer per hour will cross the first train. So when two trains are coming, train A and train B, its speed is 9.8 and the speed is 63. 63 is into 5 by 18. That is 17.5. So it is coming at the speed of 17.5 meter per second. Right? The total distance is 364 plus 245. So distance is 609, and the speed is 9.8 plus 17.5. So that is 28, 27.3. Mm, I'm getting something different as the answer. So we're going 49 by 5. Okay, got the point. Like, speed of train A is 245 into 3 by 45, right? So it will be 9 and 49. So we made a mistake here. So 49 by 3. Okay. And we made 49 by 5. That was the mistake here. Speed of B is given as 63 kilometer per hour into 5 by 18, which is 17.5. Right? Or you can say that 35 by 2 also, because it will be 7 and 2. So 35 by 2. Now the distance between the trains is, like, this is 245 meter, and another train is 364 meter. So total distance they have to cover is 609 divided by the sum of speeds plus 35 by 2. So that will be equal to 609 divided by addition of like, speed is 98 plus 105, so 203 by 6. Okay, so 6 will go up 3 into 6, that will be 18 seconds. Okay, so initially I made a mistake in this. Okay, so I had made a mistake here. I had taken 49 by 5. It should have been 49 by 3. Okay, so here's the next question that we are given that p is the root of this equation. We need to find the value of this biquadratic expression. So let's look at this question. It says that p is the root of this equation. So that means like p square plus 2p plus 6 would be equal to 0. So what we will do, we will take 2 at a time. Okay, so multiply these two equations, these two parts. So we'll get p square plus 5p plus 6 and into p square plus 9p plus 20. That is the expression. Not expand everything. Just expand this part like 2 at a time, right? Now we know that p square plus 2p plus 6 equals to 0. So subtract from this part p square plus 5p plus 6 minus p square plus 2p plus 6, right? Now if you subtract this, what do we get? 3p, right? Because this part is 0. So if you are subtracting something from 0 from something, the value remains same. So this value is equal to 3p. And similarly, if we subtract p square plus 9p plus 20, from this we subtract p square plus 2p plus 6 from it. So we will get 7p plus 14, right? So that is equal to 7p plus 14, isn't it? So because this part is 0, so if you are subtracting 0 from some number, it remains same, right? Yeah, first or last का भी कर सकते हैं. That is also like you can take any two. फर्स्ट और लास्ट का करो, इन दोनों का करो, इन दोनों का करो, एनीथिंग alternate करो, does not matter, right? You will get the same result. Now what we will get, we if you multiply it, we are getting 21p square plus this is 42p, right? Now see this thing, p square plus 2p plus 6 equal to 0, or p square plus 2p is equal to minus 6, right? If you multiply this by equation by 21, what you will get? 21p square should be minus 126. Okay, so the answer is minus 126. Okay, so that will be the value of this expression. So you can get one or two questions from like algebra also. Uh, in Snap 1 there were some questions, in Snap 2 they did not have any interest in it. A sum of rupees 5,000 is invested in scheme A at an interest of 20% per annum for 2 years using simple interest. The interest earned from scheme A is then invested in scheme B at an interest rate of 10% per annum for 3 years using compound interest. Find the difference between the interest earned in the third year and the first year in scheme B. Easy question on like simple and compound interest, provided you understand the application of percentages and not just rely on the formulae. So person invested 5,000 and then he got like interest, and he invested in scheme B at compound interest. You need to find the difference between the interest received in the first year and the third year. So let's see this question. Okay, so 5,000 is invested in scheme A, 20% for 2 years. So 40% interest aa gaya. So we will get 2,000 rupees out of it. Okay. Now the interest earned from scheme A is invested in scheme B. So in scheme B, you are investing, the principal is 2,000. Okay, this can be done mentally. You do not have to solve it, right? And then we have 10% per annum for 3 years compound interest. Okay, find the difference between the interest earned in the third year and the first year in scheme B. So in compound interest, right, compound interest at 10%. In 1 year, you get 10% interest. In 2 years, you get 21% interest. In 3 years, you get 33.1% interest. So first year में 10% interest मिला. So how much interest will he get in the third year? Right? Third year, he will get, like, this is total after 3 years. Third year, till 2 years, he has got 21% interest. In the third year, he would have got 33.1 minus 21, that is equal to 12.1% compound interest, right? 12.1% interest मिलेगा. फर्स्ट ईयर में 10% मिला. सो थर्ड ईयर में 12.1 मिला. फर्स्ट ईयर में 10% मिला. डिफरेंस इज 2.1%. 2.1% of 22,000 is 42 rupees. Okay, so like compounding at the rate of 10% per annum. In 1 year, you get 10% interest. In 2 years, 21%. In 3 years, 33.1%. So in the third year, like 21 to 33.1, you are getting 12.1% interest. 12.1% of the principal amount. Okay, so difference पूछा. First year you are getting 10% of the interest. Third year you are getting 12.1% of the principal. So the difference is 2.1% of the principal, which turns out to be 42 rupees. Okay. Next question. One page is torn out from a booklet whose pages are numbered in the usual manner, starting from the first page as 1. The sum of the numbers on the remaining pages is 955. The torn page contains which of the following numbers? So the page tiering problem, it is also a specific kind of problem, right? So we need to find the sum of first 10 natural numbers. So first find the number of pages in the book. So whenever we have like a this kind of a question, we need to first find the sum of page numbers, right? The actual sum. So sum of first n numbers, n natural numbers, is given by n plus 1 by 2, right? Now this sum, the actual sum, will be greater than 955 because 955 is after removing the pages. So it is greater than 955, right? Now what will happen is, so we can say n plus 1 is greater than 1910. So by hit and trial, you will have to think of some number. Okay, 40s में आना चाहिए, of course, right? 40 because like 40 square is 1600. So 40 in 40s. Now what will be that number? If you take 45, so suppose we take 45. So 45 into 46 is basically 20, like 19 to 23. That is 2070. Okay, so 45 to satisfy kar raha hai, but we will see that the least number that should be greater. Okay, so if we take off a smaller number, can 44 also qualify for this thing? So if you take 44 into 45, that is basically 22 into 90, which is 1980. So that is also satisfying. So n equal to 44 is also satisfying. If you wish to try the smaller number like 43, 43 into 44. Okay, so 44 square is 1936, 1892 you will get. Okay, so that will not satisfy. So 43 is not satisfying, 44 is satisfying. So we get n is equal to 44 because at 43 we are not getting this value. So n is 44. So what is the sum of 44 numbers? 44 into 45 by 2. Right? The sum will be, this is 1980 by 2, which is 990. So sum is, this is the actual sum. Actual sum when the pages are not removed. Now the given remaining sum is 955. So that means this is the sum of pages of torn pages. Okay, torn pages. Now torn pages is not one page. So if you tear a page, it has two sides, isn't it? And they are consecutive numbers. So 35 is 17 plus 18. So the page numbers are 17 and 18. See, torn pages are always consecutive numbers. Now you might be wondering that why did we take just 45, 44? 45 also satisfies this condition. So let us see that also, what will happen if you consider this 45. So अगर हम 45 लेंगे, so sum will come as 45 into 46 by 3. No, sorry, by 2. That is equal to 1035. And this number is 935. 955. Subtract किया कितना है 80. Can we have 80 as the sum of two consecutive numbers? देखो, if you have two consecutive numbers, one is even, one is odd. देखो, odd है और एक even है. दो पेज नंबर दोनों even नहीं हो सकते, right? One has to be odd, another has to be even. So it is not possible. If you go further, let us say if you take 46, right? You can try it. You will get very large number. यहाँ पे 80 आ रहा है, उससे ज्यादा आएगा. That is not possible. Okay, so try this thing. You will see that the number that you are getting will be more than the number of pages. So we have to take the number which is just more than the given sum. An editing company agreed to edit 12 books in 110 days. He employed 70 persons for the work, working 6 hours per day. After 40 days, he realized that only 3 books had been edited. How many more people would he need to employ to finish the work exactly on time? So there's a person who is like completing a task, and like after 3 days, he realized that there is a shortfall of workers. So how many more workers should he bring? So find the number of workers that needs to be. Okay, so you're getting 50. Let's see. So the person had to edit 12 books in 110 days. Okay, fine. He employed 70 persons for the work, working 6 hours per day. Okay. After 40 days, he realized that 3 books had been edited. So for 3 books, the total work is 70 persons into 6 hours per day. Now, and how many days? 40 days. So this is the number of workers, man, days into hours. We do that thing, right? So days are 40 days and hours employed are 6 hours per day, sorry, right, for 3 books. Now what he needs to do, he needs to bring more people, so finish the work on time. Now how many hours, days he has? So he has completed 40 days and he had to finish in 70 days. So days, sorry, 110 days, so he has to finish in 70 days. Okay, and how many hours? Hours is 6 only. We need to find the number of men that are needed. Okay, so he has 70 days to complete the task. Hours worked are 6 only, and he needs n men, and he need to publish 9 books, right? So three books have been done, 3 books have been edited, so we have to edit 9 books. So that means it is 3 times of this. So we can say like this: 3 into 70 into 40 into 6 is equal to n into 70 into 6. So 70 into 6 can be cancelled. So n is equal to 120. N is the number of men, right? So there are already 70 persons working. So extra, we need 50 more people to complete the work. So the answer is none of these. Okay, so you need 50 more people to finish the work on time. At a party, every person shakes hands with every other person. Suppose there were a total of 703 handshakes in the party. Find the number of persons who were present at the party. So this is a combination based question, standard question on combinations. So there are people who are shaking hands. So handshake ho gaya, number of matches in a group. Okay, these are straightforward standard questions. So number of handshakes is the number of handshakes is given by NC2, right? Or n minus 1 by 2. That is equal to 703. So n into n minus 1 is 1406. Okay, so let's just look at the options. Okay, पहले option से कर लेते हैं. If that does not work out, then we will calculate. So if you put 38, 38 into 37, possible है last digit 6 बन रहा है. If you take 37, 37 into 36, last digit will be 2, so not is the it is not the answer. 31 into 30, last digit is 0, not the answer. So ये दो तो नहीं है. Now there is none of these also as the option. Okay, so probably we will have to, I mean, calculate it. 38 into 37. So 38 square is 1444 and 38 minus 38 कर देंगे उससे. So minus 38 will be 1406. Okay. Get 38. That will be the answer. Or you can put options here also, like 38 into 39 by 37 by 2. So maybe 19 into 37 we can do. Okay, same thing. Just that we can use options over here. So handshakes is a direct concept. It is NC2. Select two people, there will be one handshake. Okay, so we have a question like 7.777 raised to the power A is equal to 0.7777 raised to the power B is equal to 1 followed by 5 zeros. We need to find the value of 1 upon A minus 1 upon B. So Snap has been asking some difficult questions also. So who knows? I mean, considering the level of Snap, it is difficult. But if you have prepared for CAT, then that should be a doable question. So how to do these kind of questions is like 7.777 raised to the power A is given as 1 lakh. Okay, 5 zeros are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can say 7.777 is equal to 1 lakh raised to the power 1 upon A, isn't it? Similarly, we can take as 0.7777 is equal to 1 lakh raised to the power 1 upon B. Okay, so this is the first equation, this is the second equation. When you divide this equation, you will get 10. If you divide this by this, you will get 10, right? If you multiply this by 10 is 7.777. So 10 is equal to 1 lakh raised to the power 1 upon A divided by this. So division means subtraction of powers. So it is 1 upon A minus 1 upon B, right? Now we have 1 lakh, 10 raised to the power 5 is 1 lakh, right? Or we can say 10 is 1 lakh raised to the power 1 by 5, right? So it becomes, so just compare the bases are same. So that means 1 upon A minus 1 upon B is 1 upon 5. So question based on the concept of indices. Okay, so the answer is 1 upon 1 by 5. All right, so let's see the next question. In case you are interested in taking our snap mocks, you can do so. So another question on algebra. Fx is equal to x cube and gx is equal to 3 raised to the power x for all real x. You need to find the value of f of gx minus g of fx at x equal to 2. Okay, so let's see this problem. Right, it is like you just have to put the values over here. Gx is what? 3 to the power x. So f of gx minus g of fx. So that we need to calculate. So gx is 3 raised to the power x. So f 3 raised to the power 2 and g of fx is x cube. So 2 cube. So it is f of 9 minus g of 8. Okay. So f of 9 is 9 cube and g of 8. So 3 raised to the power 8. So 9 cube is 729 and 3 raised to the power 8. 3 square is 9. Fourth power is 81. 6561. Okay, so 5800 something आना चाहिए. Minus 5800. So minus 5832. Okay, simple question. You just had to put the values. Okay, you just had to put the values of the function and calculate it. In a bicycle race in a school, Palak beats Qureshi by 300 meter. Qureshi beats Bitika by 350 meter, 650 meter, and Palak beats Bitika by 800 meter on the same racetrack. Find the length of the racetrack. So three people racing on a racetrack, and the beating distance is given to us. So let's see this problem. So there is a race, and when Palak finishes the race, Qureshi is 300 meters away. And Qureshi beats Bitika by 650 meters. So this is Bitika, and sorry, this is, we will first look in terms of, we will look in terms of Palak. So Palak beats Bitika by 800 meters. So Bitika is 500 meters away from this point. So Palak beats Bitika by 800 meters. Now when they finish the race, so when reaches here, right, it says that Qureshi beats Bitika by 650 meters. So when Q reaches this point, B is, now this is 800 and B will be 650 meter behind. Okay, so when Q finishes, B is at this point, right? Now Q was 300 meters, so Q covered 300 meters in this time. And when Q covered this 300, now B is still 650 meters. So B has covered just 150 meters. So that means B has covered 150 meters from this point, right? So this is situation one. When P is completing the race, Q is 300 meters away. So Q is finishing these remaining 300 meters to complete the race, and B is still, he has run only 150. So Q ratio B is 2 ratio 1. Okay. Now in this case, like Q is, like B is 500 meter away. So basically, Q ratio B, the difference is, the ratio is 2 ratio 1, right? So Q is 500 meters ahead of B. So that means Q must have covered 1000 meters and B must have covered 500 meters. तभी 500, 2 ratio 1 है और difference 500 का. The ratio is 2 ratio 1 and the distance is 500 meter. So from the starting, Q is already covered 1000 meters. So the total race is 1000 plus 300, that is 1300 meters. And if you look from B's point of view, B has covered 500 meters and B is 800 meters away from the race. So either way, you will get the total distance as 1300 meters. In an Olympic event, two participants are from Australia, three from China, and four from the USA. Find the probability that exactly two of the medal winners are from the same country. And there are three medals: gold, silver, and bronze. So, two participants from Australia, three from China, and four from the USA. We need to find the probability that exactly two of the medal winners are from the same country. So, we will make different favorable outcomes, right? We need to get two people from the same country. Okay, so it can happen that, so two from Australia and one from other, right? Or we can have two people from China and one from other, you can call it other, two China and one other. Or the third case would be two from US and the third from other. Okay, so we need to find the probability that two of these medals winners are from the same country, right? So 2 from Australia, that means 2C2. Right? See, we just have to select these people. We do not have to arrange. Okay, their arrangement is not involved because we just have to tell that they are medal winners. Which medal winners? The order is not important here. Okay, order तब important होता कि like gold होना चाहिए, silver होना चाहिए. Nothing is mentioned. We just have to select these people. So we need to take 2C2. Others we can select in 7 ways. If you select 2 from China, so 3C2 and others can be selected in 6 ways. And 2 US, that means 4C2 and others can be selected in 5 ways. Any of the other ones, right? And total is there are 2, 3, and 4. Total 9 participants, and we need to select 3 people for medal. Okay, so that is the total ways of selection. So 2C2 is 1 into 7. 3C2 is 3 into 6 plus 4C2 is 6, 6 into 5, and 9C3. 9C3 is 987 by 6. So 12 times 12 into 7, 84. So we'll get 7 plus 18 plus 30 by 54, 84, or we will get 55 by 84 as the required probability. Okay, so we need to get 2 Australia, 1 others, right? 2 China, 1 others, and third case would be 2 from US and the third is from other country. Okay, and total ways of selection is 9C3. So that will be the answer. How many numbers with 2 or more digits can be formed using these digits? So that in every such number, each digit is used at most once and the digits appear in the descending order. So we need to find that 2 or more digits. We need to form numbers of 2 or more digits using the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that in every number, each digit is used at most once and the digits appear in the descending order. Now, if you see this, see for every digit we have two choices, right? So if we can select a digit. So basically, we have to make uh, like we need to make two or more digits. So if you to make a two-digit number, the ways of selection is 7C2, right? Two-digit number. This is the way of selection. Okay. If we select a two-digit number, we will to select two digits. In how many ways can we arrange them? We can arrange them in like uh, uh, like only one way because they are in descending order. So only one way. Suppose we put 3 and 5. Okay. In only one way we can arrange, that is 5 and 3. Right. So we can arrange them. Selection is 7C2. If you pick a three-digit number, right? So your ways of selection is 7C3. Right. If you have to pick a four-digit number, the way of selection is 7C4. Right. If you have to pick a five-digit number, the way of selection is 7C5. Six-digit number, the way of selection is 7C6. And if you have to make a seven-digit number, the way of selection is 7C7. And arrangement is only one way. Only one way is there to arrange these numbers. Because if you are picking four digits, let us say you picked 2, 3, 5 and 6. Right? आपने select तो कर लिया 4, 7C4 ways to select. Arrangement is only one way because only one way will be the descending one, right? So that is the total we need. Okay. Now instead of adding these, we know if we add from 7C0 plus 7C1 and so on, if we add till 7C7, that is equal to 2 raised to the power 7 or 128. Okay. अब ये कैसे आता है? Like I'll give you the brief about it. So like for every digit has two choices. ठीक है, और instead of thinking like this, ठीक है, ये निकालना है, ये अगर समझ में आता है this equation, if you can understand, great. If not, I will tell you other way to do this. See, every digit has two choices, either you select or not select. Okay. Select or not select, that means two choices, and there are seven digits. So seven digits will have 2 raised to the power 7, that is 128 choices. So यही हम कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे एक select, zero select कर रहे हैं, one select कर रहे हैं, and so on. We have 128 choices. Now if you have to select zero digit, there is only one way, that you do not select any of the digits. If you have to select one digit, you have seven choices. So we can select these in 128 ways. We have to select zero digits. There is only one way, that we do not select anything. And if you have to select one digit, we have seven ways. So we will remove these cases. Why remove? Because हमें minimum दो digit select करने हैं. Okay, so we have to select minimum two digits. So we can do by 128 minus 8, that is 120. Okay, so if you understand this method, great. Like why is it 128 and this? If not, then simply keep adding these, you will get the same result. Okay, but ideally you should know that this concept, that if we have nc0, nc1 plus and so on added till end, that is 2 raised to the power n. Okay, all right. A ping pong ball is dropped from a 45-meter high multi-story building. The ball bounces back 3/5 of the distance each time before coming to rest. The total distance traversed by the ball is. So this year they have not asked this question, but like 21 and 22, I think last year आया था or not, there used to be a question on this ball bouncing thing. Infinite GP का question आता था, and in one of the exams it was incorrect also. So snap can make errors in the exam also. You need to use the best judgment to answer the questions in those scenarios. As I remember, in 21 they had asked, and in that also the same question was asked of ball bouncing. So we have 45-meter height, right? So it is coming down and then it is bouncing 3/5. That is 27, and then it will go down and then will bounce up, down, right? So in this case, how do we solve it is, if we have infinite GP, the sum of infinite GP is A upon 1 minus R. Right? Sum is given by A minus 1 upon R. Now what is happening is, it is bouncing two times. One times up, down, up, down, up, down. So we multiply by two times. ठीक है, डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला कैसे आता है? So sum of an infinite GP is A upon 1 minus R two times, because it is going up and down. But when we talking about the first drop, it is only once. यहाँ पे up नहीं हो रहा है, right? We are not throwing it up. It is dropped from a location. So minus, we will subtract A from this. So this is the solution. So 2 into A is 45. 1 minus 3 by 5 minus 45. Okay, so we will get 90 upon 2 by 5. So into 5 by 2 minus 45. That will be 225 minus 45. That is 180. Okay, so that will be the answer. Okay, so question on logarithms. Easy one. I expect all of you to answer it. See, if you have mugged up some formula, fine. Like I do not mug up the formula, I go by the derivation thing. Okay, there must be some formula like that. You can use that as long as it is universal. You can use it. Okay, so let's see this one. It's fairly easy. 7 to the power 2 is there, right? So 47 plus log 5x is equal to 49, right? So log 5x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 25, right? 5 square. And here we have log 4. This is 9x. 9 into x will be 225 plus 28 plus log 3y, that is equal to 4. So this is 4 to the power 4, 256. 253 plus log 3y is equal to 256. So that is 3. Okay. So this is 3 to the power 3. Y will be equal to 27. So x minus y is asked. So that will be minus 2. Okay. So that will be minus 2. Correct. Okay, so if you are preparing for MBA examinations for 2025-26 or know someone who is preparing for the same, right? So you can recommend our course, and it is going to be a self-paced course which will cover all topics from basic to advanced. And along with that, you get topic-wise practice sheets and doubt resolution group, and we will have periodic live classes as doubt sessions, and we will cover uh, in VA we will cover the grammar and vocab part, as well as in LR we will cover the omit topics like syllogisms, blood relations, and other topics which are asked in different MBA entrance examinations. So this is the best course that you can ever get at the unbeatable price. So please yeah, recommend it to the aspirants who ask for which is the best institute. A lot of students at this point in time are asking which is the best institute. Unfortunately, like people will recommend random institutes, right? And even the influencers, I've seen those the influencers recommending such institutes which do not have quality. Okay, so like do recommend to the genuine aspirants. So, a small boat takes 60 hours to reach from point A to point B if it sails along the flow of the creek at its normal speed. The same boat takes 40 hours to finish reaching point B from point A if it sails at thrice its normal speed along the direction of the flow of the creek. If the boat is just left still on the water, find the time in hours it will need to reach point B from point A. So the boat is going down, right, along the flow. Along the flow means it is going downstream. Okay, so they may not use the word downstream and upstream. If they say along the flow, that means it is going with water. So it is downstream. And it takes 60 hours from A to B. If it is going at its normal speed, it takes 60 hours. And if it sails at thrice its normal speed, it will take just 40 hours. Okay, and we need to tell that if the boat is just left still, if it is not, there is no water flow, right, how much time will it take? Okay, so we have this thing dubs, right? I mean, I use this acronym. Let us say the speed of the boat is x and the speed of the stream is y. So downstream speed is x plus y. Okay. In this case, how much time is it taking? It is taking 60 hours in the first case. In the second case, what is happening is the boat is making thrice its speed. So the speed of the boat becomes 3x. Speed of stream will remain the same. As any boat तेज चलने लगी तो पानी भी तेज हो जाएगा. It will be at its normal speed. So 3x plus y will be the downstream speed, and that will be 80. Yeah, sorry, 40. Time कम हो जाएगा. 40 hours it takes. Right. So we will equate to find the relation between x and y. So we have 60x plus 60y is equal to 120x plus 40y, or we get 60x is equal to 20y, or y is equal to 3x. Okay, since it's a ratio based question, right, we will take that this as y as 3. So speed of steam, 60x is equal to 20y, और y is equal to 3x. ये कैसे? अच्छा हाँ ठीक है, डाउन स्ट्रीम जा रहा है ना, हाँ, सो फाइन, इट्स नॉट गोइंग अपस्ट्रीम. सो लाइक y इज इक्वल टू 3x. सो डिस्टेंस कितना हो जाएगा? डिस्टेंस इज 60 into 4, और यू कैन पुट 3 x as 1 and y as 3, so you will get 240. So distance उसे कवर करना है 240. Okay, so the distance covered is 240. Now if it is just left still, the board की speed 0 होगी, y is 3 and distance is 240. So 240 by 3, it will take 80 hours to reach B from A. Okay, so in the second case, in the given case, the boat is not moving, right? It is left still. That means the water is still flowing. The speed of water is 3, which we got with here, and 240 by 3, it will take 80 hours to complete this journey. Okay, all right. Let's see this next question. If cos A plus B is equal to 0, what is sine A minus B? Now, cos and sine based identities like trigonometric identities have been asked. ठीक है, अगर trigonometry नहीं आती है, that is the mistake that people do, right? They start studying something which they have not studied. Like एक cos cos वाला क्वेश्चन आ गया था, राइट? cos, आई थिंक cos वाला और sin वाला आया था. Now what happened in the examination is, like, you got one question. Now instead of thinking about that one question, you will not go and complete entire trigonometry. 11 12 की trigonometry बहुत vast है, ठीक है? So do not just dig into that topic. That is the mistake that people do, right? They crib about one question which comes out of topic. Okay, instead of thinking about the other questions which are could have been done. Okay, so if you have covered trigonometry in class 11 12, fine, but अब आप बैठ के नया trigonometry पूरा start नहीं करोगे. Okay, so this question, let us see how to do this. We can use this property. A plus B is 0, right? So A plus B means that A plus B will be 90 degrees, right? Or rather it is uh, like if we go into the detail, intricate detail, अब मैं पूरा in depth में जाऊंगा, so that becomes pi plus k pi plus pi by 2, राइट? ये आपका एक्चुअल रिलेशन होगा। अब के पाई, ठीक है, आप जो बिल्कुल ट्रिग्नोमेट्री बिल्कुल 11 12 के डीप में जाओगे तो समझ में आएगा के पाई क्यों लिया, ठीक है। सो सिंपली लेना है इसे 90 ले लो, ठीक है, सिंपली 90 ले लेते हैं। नाउ व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन पुट ऑप्शंस और थिंक लाइक दिस, वी नीड टू डू साइन a minus b, right? So a plus b is 90. So can we say that a minus b, a plus b is 90, or we can say a is equal to 90 minus b. So sine of a minus b will be sine of 90 minus b minus b. So that is equal to sine of 90 minus 2b, right? So sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. So that is equal to cos 2b. Right? So this is how you solve using the identities. So using the identities, this is how you solve. Now suppose like you do not know any of these identities. How to do it is, see देखो आपको 30, 60, 45 इनमें values पता होनी चाहिए. Okay, so we can take 30, 60 and 30 and try with the options. See if things do not work out, how do we do this? So 60 and 30 if you take, then we will have to find sine 30, right? So sine 30 is 1 by 2. Now this is cos b. B is 30. So cos 30 is not 1 by 2. Sine a, sine 60 is not 1 by 2. Sine 120 is not 1 by 2. Cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2, which fits in this option. You could assume both as 45 degrees, right? That may work. So maybe like you can assume some values. Okay, so you could put let's say like a plus b is 0, so you can take not necessarily 60 30, you could have taken 70 and 20 also. Okay, so like if you take 70 and 20, let us say 70 and 20, so a is 70 and b is 20, so we need to find sine 50. Okay, so if you take cos b, that will be cos 20. Now sine a minus b we need to find, right? So sine 50 is equal to cos 40, and 2b means 40 degrees. So if you are not able to get the identities, right, you can assume some values and get it done. If still that does not work out, just leave that question, because imagine that most of the people sitting in that examination hall have no idea. ठीक है, किसी को बेसिक हाइट्स एंड डिस्टेंसेस भी नहीं आता है. देयर आर पीपल, मेनी पीपल हु डू नॉट नो दैट. ओके, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ basic I mean digging into such things, just avoid it, because there will be one or two questions which will be off topic, and that is the mistake that people do, right? They focus on that one question और उस चक्कर में पेपर में और चीज अटेंड नहीं कर पाते हो. That is the key of cracking the examination, right? So you must have noticed that sometimes when I do the exam analysis, I say that I did not attempt this question, I overlooked that question, so I skip that altogether, because I do not break my head into something. Like it could be for any section. हो सकता है reasoning में कुछ हो. Like for example, there was some coding decoding questions asked. I knew that uh, it is difficult to figure that out, so I just avoid that and then move on. Same goes for English. Like if you are not able to find out something, like if something you feel tricky, just avoid that, move on. Okay, so no one knows all the topics, I mean very few people would know them. Same goes in any of the examinations, cracking any of the competitive examinations. This is the key, that if you are not able to recall despite being prepared, okay, just avoid that, because that's the key there. Like if you stick yourself to some particular topic, particular question in the examination, you lose time. So one root of this equation is double of the other. We need to find b square. What is the value of b square? So one root is double of the other. So let us say one root is p, another root is 2p, right? So what is the sum of roots? Sum of the roots is 3p, which is equal to minus b upon a. And what is the product of roots? Product of the roots is 2p square is equal to c upon a, right? Now what we will do is square this thing. So we will get 9p square is equal to b square upon a square. And second equation is 2p square is equal to c upon a. So divide this expression. ठीक है ये expression divide करते हो तो 9/2 is equal to b square upon a square into a upon c. Okay, so a will cancel out. So we will get b square. We need to find b square. So b square is equal to 9/2 or 4.5 ac. So any question on quadratic equation, just remember it is related to sum and product of roots. Okay, so sum of roots is given to us this, and product of roots. Just square this expression to get the desired relation. A circular paper is folded along its diameter, then again folded to form a quadrant. Then it is cut as shown in the shaded portion in the figure. After it, the paper was reopened to the original circular shape. Find the ratio of the area of the original paper to that of the remaining paper. The radius of quadrant OAB is 5 centimeter. So this radius is 5 centimeter. And radius of each semicircle is 1 centimeter. This is just a quadrant. So we need to find the ratio of we need to find the ratio of area of original paper to that of remaining paper. ठीक है अच्छा देखो the thing is, first of all we will find that this is quadrant, right? So when a uh, full thing is opened up, right, how many circles will be removed, right? So it is saying that shaded portion is cut. The shaded portion is cut. So we will find how many. This is a quadrant. This is half circle. This is half circle. So one circle. एक ये circle हो गया half circle and half circle. Okay. And this is half circle and half circle. So one more circle. And this is quarter circle. Isn't it 1/4 of a circle? So from one quadrant से how much we are cutting? We are cutting 2.25 circles. Okay. In the complete circle, from this complete paper, 9 circles will be cut, right? Now, what is the question is asking the uh, ratio of area of the original paper to that of remaining paper. Original paper का area कितना है? Pi r square, so 25 pi, because the radius is given as 5 centimeter. Okay, this is the circle. So original paper is 25 pi, right? Now we are cutting out 9 circles. So one area is pi, pi r is 1, and this radii is 1 centimeter, right? So its area is 1 pi and 9 pi. So we are cutting 9 pi. So remaining is 16 pi. So 9 pi area is cut, remaining is 16 pi. So we need to find the ratio of original area, original paper to remaining paper. So 25 ratio 16 will be the answer. Okay, it was just a visualization problem. You need to find out that how much area is being removed out of the given area and get the ratio. So 9 circles will be cut in total. So this is half and half. So one circle, two circles, and one quarter. So in four, that will make one extra circle. So total 9 circles will be cut. The radius of each circle is 1. So area is pi. So 9 pi out of 25 is cut. So 16 pi remains. Okay, so this is an expression, value of tan square theta plus cot square theta minus sec square theta cosec square theta is. Now, how to do this is basically like you can use values. Okay, so try to put values and see. I would say that I would recommend keep 45 की values याद रखो, because 45 is easy. Sine and cos are 1 by root 2. Okay, and tan is 1 over there, right? And basically, the reverse of this will be root 2. Sine and cos are 1 by root 2. So preferably put 45 degrees. Okay, 45 degrees makes this thing simple. Right. So tan square theta will be 1, cot square theta will be 1, and sec square theta. So sine and cos are 1 by root 2. So cosec and sec both are equal to root 2. So this is root 2 square is 2 into 2. So that will be minus 2. ठीक है, इक्वेशन ऐसे करने से इजीली हो जाता है. इफ यू डू बाय आइडेंटिटी, वी कैन डू बाय आइडेंटिटी आल्सो. tan square is sin square upon cos square plus cos square upon sin square minus sec square is 1 upon cos square and 1 upon sin square. Okay, so we will get sin to the power 4 plus cos to the power 4 theta minus 1 upon sin square theta cos square theta. Okay, and if you were in class 11, they would teach you like this: sin square theta plus cos square theta का whole square minus 2 sin square theta cos square theta minus 1 upon. This is how we had to do in school, right? So this is 1. 1 minus 1 will cancel out. So minus 2 sin square theta cos square theta. So this will Cancel this, you will get minus 2 as the answer. Okay, but don't go this identity method. Like as I told you that use values to solve such questions. Alright, so I hope you are enjoying this session. So please don't forget to like this video and hopefully it will help you tackle questions in the examination. And in case you know someone who is starting their preparation for the next year, right? And you can recommend our course to them because people ask, right? The people who are appearing on examinations or who have cracked the examinations, they ask that which is the best institute, where did you prepare from? So even if you did not prepare for like as a paid student, even if you just watched our YouTube videos, you must have noticed that our quality is different and much better than others. Okay, so don't forget to recommend us. Yes, you can replace tan and chord with second cosec also. So there are several methods, right? I mean, you can replace with those, or you can use sine and cos. I preferably used to break it into sine and cos to make things simple. So a chemist was entering the invoice for a medicine sold. Both the quantity sold and the cost per unit were two-digit numbers. Accidentally, he reversed the digit of both numbers but got the amount as the correct, which was 1209. If he had reduced the cost per unit by 18, how much was the quantity sold increased? So the total money is cost into quantity sold. Okay, so he reversed the digits of both numbers and he got the same number as the total. So we need to find out what is the, we are given the difference between uh, the cost is decreased by 18. So we have, like, these are given that quantity sold at cost per unit were two-digit numbers. So these are integers. And when he reverse also, these will be integers only. So we will try to find the factors of 1209. 1209 को factorize करते हैं. So we can divide by 3. It will be 403, isn't it? 403 we cannot divide by 2, we cannot divide by 3, we cannot divide by 5. 7 से देखो, 7 5 is 35, not divisible by 7 also. 11 so not divisible. Try by 13. 13 threes are 39. 1. So 13 gives 31. Okay. So we can break it like this. Like 1209 can be written as 39. 13 into 3 is 39 into 31. And we can also write as 3 into 31, that is 93 into 13. Isn't it the same thing? That the digits are reversed? Right? We are getting two numbers with reverse digits. Right? So in first case it is one case 39 into 31. Another case it is 93 into 30. Right? Now the question is saying that if he had reduced the cost by 18 units. Where do we get the difference of 18? This case we get the difference of 18. That means original cost was 31. This is the reduced cost. So quantity was 39 here and now the quantity is 93. So it is saying by how much was the quantity increased. So quantity kitni increase ho gayi? There is an increase of 54 in the quantity. Okay, so what is happening in this case is the product is remaining the same. Okay, and in one case we are reducing the quantity, so we are sorry reducing the cost price, so the quantity will increase, and these are two numbers which have reverse digits. Okay, so that will be the answer. So based on number systems, product of numbers, factors and all had to be used here. If the radius of a sphere is 50% less than the side of a cube, such that the total surface area of x cubes is equal to the total surface area of 189 spheres, find the value of x. So we have spheres and cubes, and there is a relation between the total surface areas. So in this case, we are given that there is a sphere, radius is 50% less. 50% less means half हो गया. So radius 1 मान लेते हैं, and side of the cube, let us say 2. Okay. Now total surface area of x cubes is equal to total surface area of 189 spheres. Okay. So TSA like of a cube is 4 pi r square, right? And x into 4 pi r square is equal to 189 into 6a square. That is the relation that we have. So we need to find the value of x here. So just put the values x, 4 pi, pi let us use the value because no pi here, so we will have to use the value. And r we have taken 1, so 1 that is equal to 189 and 6a square, 6 and a is 2, so 24. So we'll get x equal to, we can just uh, so total surface area of x cubes, so uh, x cubes is equal to total surface area of 90, sorry, I have written it the other way around. x इधर की साइड आएगा. Okay, x into 6a square is 189 squares. So x will come this side. So we have x cubes. So this is the total surface area. So we will get x is equal to 189 into 4 pi. Pi is 22 by 7. R square is 1 only and upon 6a square. So 6 into 4. Okay, so this cancels out. This is 27 and 27. This is 11 by 3 and 9. 9 into 11, you will get 99 as the answer. Okay, so yeah, it will be 99. Yeah, so I had mistakenly taken it on the other side. So you will get 99 as the number of cubes. So merely equating the two ones. Okay. A mixture contains milk and water in the ratio of 5:2. Some milk is added to the mixture, which is equal to 50% of the initial volume of water. Additionally, some water is added to the mixture, which is equal to 40% of the initial volume of milk. The final volume of mixture is 480 liters. Find the volume of milk in the initial mixture. So this is a fairly simple question, right? So milk and water is 5 and 2. Then what we do? We add some milk, which is equal to 50% of the initial volume of water. So we will add one, right? And some water is added, which is 40% of initial volume of milk. Okay. So total milk is 6, water is 4. So 6 ratio 4 में हो गया. Total quantity is 480 liters. So 10 parts is 480. So one part is 48. Okay. And we are asked the volume of milk in the initial mixture. So milk is 5 parts. So 48 into 5, you will get 240 liters. Okay, fairly simple. Sometimes, uh, see, try to read the question. Sometimes the questions could be straightforward. लिखने में लगेगा कि अरे इसमें क्या mixture कर दिया and all. Sometimes that might be the case, but the questions are way too straightforward. You just have to simply take the ratios. Find the probability of selecting two same color balls from three green, one orange, and two red balls. So let's see this thing. It's a like we need to select two same colored balls, right? So it is like that a simpler version of that medal based question. Okay. So we need to pick two same color balls. So one thing is we select green balls. Another thing is we select red balls. Okay, green and red and Green selecting two green balls is 3C2 and two red balls is 2C2. And total ways of selection is there are total 6 balls. We are selecting 2 balls out of 6. So 3 plus 1 upon 6C2 is 15. So you will get 4 by 50. Okay, so basic probability question. Total expenses of a boarding house are partly fixed and partly varying linearly with the number of boarders. The average expense per boarder is rupees 700 when there are 25 boarders and 600 when there are 50 boarders. What is the average expense per boarder when there are 100 boarders? So the boarding house where the expenses proportional to like there are two things, one is fixed cost and there is a variable cost. We need to find the average cost when there are 100 people living there. So let's see this problem. So there are average expenses 700 when there are 25 boarders. Now what is the total expense? Total expense is something is fixed that is equal to x plus n times of y. So this is a fixed one and this is the variable expense. So when there are 25 boarders, so total expense will be x plus 25y, that is equal to average is 700. So 700 into 25, which is equal to 25 7 is 17500. When there are 50 boarders, so the average x, the total expense will be x plus 50y, right? So it is 600 into 50, that is equal to 30,000. Right. So when we take the difference, right? So what do we get is the difference? The difference is 25y will be equal to 125,000. Sorry, 12500. Okay. Now we need to find the expense per boarder when there are 100 boarders. If there are 100 boarders, the total cost will be x plus 100y. We need to find what will be that value. Now x plus 50y is already known to us. Okay. X plus 50y हमें already पता, that is 30,000. Plus we need 50 more y. So this part is 30,000 and 50y will be 25,000 because 25y is 12,500. 50y will be 25,000. That is 55,000. So when we have 100 boarders, the total cost is 55,000. So average will be 550. So 550 per boarder. Need not calculate the fixed cost. You could do just by finding the variable cost also. Find the sum of all possible values of p such that p to the power 4 minus p cube has the units digit as 2, where p lies between 40 and 50. So p to the power 4 minus p cube will have the unit digit as 2. So we need to find all such values of p, the sum of all such values of p, such that this expression holds true. Okay, so let's see this. This is going to be definitely a difficult one because like calculations are involved over here. Okay, so we need to find p raised to the power 4 minus p raised to the power p cube units digit as 2. So p will have the last digit. See, one thing to know is if the last digit is 1, 0, 1, 5, 6, right? The result is the same, right? So if you take 0, 1, 5, 6, last digit any power will give the same digit. ये याद रखना ना 150 156 will give same digits. ठीक है, तो इससे चार चीजें तो आपकी एलिमिनेट हो गई इफ यू नो दिस. Any number ending in 0 will always have a power that will end in 0, whichever power it is. Similarly, any number ending in 5 will give the last digit as same. So these four are removed because they will give the same digit in this power and this power. Subtraction will not give the difference as 2. So we are left with the other digits, and that is 2, 3, 4, and then 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So p to the power 4 and p cube. This is the last digit. Or you can say the number is 42, 43, 44, and so on, right? Acha, fourth power of 2 is 6, 3 is 1, 6, and 7 is 9, 991. 8 is 64, and then 6, and 9 is 1. This is the last digit. P cube. to the last third power is 8. So P4 minus PQ, the last digit will be 8. Okay, now you will say minus 2. So basically, we can take a carry and get the last digit as 8, not the correct one. 3 the third power is 7. 4th the third power is 4. 7 the third power is 3. 8 the third power is 2. 9 the third power is 9. Okay, so when we subtract 1 minus 7, we will get 4. That is not there. 2. Okay, 1 minus 3. Again, that will be 8. So 6 minus 2, 4, and 1 minus 9, 2. Right. So these are the two ones. The numbers ending in 4 and 9. So the numbers are 44 and 49. The total is 93. So a tough question considering the examination, okay, wherein you have shortage of time. So if such things come wherein you need to check for different digits individually, just avoid that question. Okay. In a fantasy league, a player can pick a team of 11 from a pool of 15 players comprising of 5 batsmen, 5 bowlers, 4 all-rounders and 1 wicket-keeper. In how many ways can he pick the team such that he must pick at least 3 batsmen, 3 bowlers, 3 all-rounders and 1 wicket-keeper? So you need to pick a team of this people. So let's see this one. Okay, so you have to pick 11 players out of 15. There are 5 batsmen, 5 bowlers, 4 all rounders, and 1 wicket-keeper. 5 batsmen, 5 bowlers, 4 all rounder, and 1 wicket-keeper. Okay, so this is what you need to select. So he has to pick 3 batsmen, 3 bowlers, 3, 3, 3, and 1 wicket-keeper. That is the minimum. Okay, so you need to pick this. So one way is that you pick. So these are the available. Now, if you pick either, you can see wicketkeeper is only one only, right? So wicketkeeper will be one. So you have to make four. Like one of them has to be made four. 10 is mandatory. Okay, so the difference will be one extra player, right? So one possibility is that you pick 4 batsmen. Okay, 3 bowlers, 3, 1, right? That is one team. Another would be 3 bowlers, 4 batsmen, 3 all-rounders, and 1 wicket keeper, right? Another would be 3 batsmen, 3 bowlers, 4 all-rounder, and 1 wicket keeper. So these are the 3 scenarios that we will have. So in first scenario, we have to pick 4 bowlers. So 5 C4 and 5 C3 and 4 C3, and this is only one case, so we will avoid it. In this scenario, it is 5 C3 into 5 C4 into 4C3. This scenario is 5C3. 5C3. We are selecting three people and 4C4. So 5C4 is 5, right? 5C3 is 10 and this is 4. This is 5C3 is 10, 5C4 is 4 and 4C3 is 4. 5C3 is 5 and 5C4 is 5 and this is 4. And 5C3 is 10, 5C3 is 10 and again this is 1. So first case we are getting 200 ways, that is 50 into 4, 200 ways. And third case we are getting total of 100 ways. So there are total 500 ways of selecting the team. Directly take as 5C1, only one player is needed. Which player? So you are saying that 5C1 for which player? One player is needed. 5C1. So यहाँ से तो आपको okay, you took 10 common, okay, then you will need 5C1 will be 5, but how will you get this? Like you'll have to take different ways, right? So like 5C1, you'll have to break it into uh, three different scenarios because uh, like if you're taking it 10 players, right? So we do not know which combination are we going with. Okay, so we will have to take one scenario where we are picking that extra batsman, extra bowler, extra all-rounder. So that's why we will take three different cases and add them. The angle of elevation of a tower from a point on the same level as the foot of the tower is 30 degree. On advancing 150 meters towards the foot of the tower, the angle of elevation of the tower becomes 60 degree. The height of the tower is approximately how much? So we cannot have things simultaneously here. So you need to understand that where do we need to add and where do we need to multiply. See, 10th player, like the logic that you are applying, we need to select that extra player. So there are like that extra player can be from three different scenarios. Like it can be bowler, it can be batsman, it can be the all-rounder. But all three cannot be simultaneous. So you cannot apply directly because if it is simultaneous, right, then we can apply one case, but it is not simultaneous. Like या तो bowler extra होगा or the batsman will be extra or the all rounder will be extra, so you'll have to make three different scenarios and then take that extra player. So fundamental principle of counting, wherever things are not uh, like cannot be done simultaneously, we need to add those cases. Okay, this would be a simpler one because if you have covered heights and distances, 30 degree and the person moves 150 meters and the angle becomes 60 degree. Okay, so this is 30 degree, right? and it becomes 60 degree. We need to find the height of the tower. Okay, suppose this height is h, this distance is root 3h. Okay, when we consider this triangle, and this will be h upon root 3. Or if you take this distance as x, this will be root 3x, this will be 3x. Okay, so like if you've attempted a few questions on heights and distances, now you must be very like much aware of these three ratios: 1 ratio, root 3 ratio, 2. And 45, 45, 90 is 1, 1, root 2. Okay, so you can easily say that it is h by root 3 and root 3h. Now the person is advancing 150 meters. So this distance is 150. So we can say that root 3h minus h upon root 3 is 150. Or we get 3 minus, if you take it to the numerator, it becomes 3. 3 minus 2, 1 is 2. 2h upon root 3 is equal to 150. Or we get h is equal to 150 root 3 upon 2, or 75 root 3. Okay, now root 3 is 1.73 into 75, right? 75 into 3. Now the options are close, so probably we'll have to multiply and get it. 75 into 3 is 225, 22 carries, that is 525, 547, 54 carries 129, 129.75, so which is approximately 130 meters. Okay, so that will be 75 root 3, which will be approximately 130. So that will be the height. Okay, so heights and distances. There was a question this time. There was a question uh, in first lot. They did not have any question on heights and distances, but second one they had. Probably you can get this time also. Okay, these two ratios are enough to remember. Mostly that will be 30, 60, 90, or 45, 45, 90 triangles only. Okay, so wish you all the best for Snap. I hope these sessions would have like guided you how to attempt different kind of questions. And if you enjoyed the session, please don't forget to like this video. And like if you still want the test, you can check out the mock test. And especially for the ones you are referring to, don't forget to refer our institute to your juniors, because this is the time you will be cracking these examinations and a lot of people will be asking you, maybe your juniors at college, colleagues, right? Or like some relatives or not, they might be asking that which is the place to enroll for MBA prep, then you can recommend us. Okay, so that's for today's session. I hope this was a great marathon, right, in which we discussed varieties of questions, some good questions involving different uh, like domains. We did questions from algebra, geometry, trigonometry. So there were some questions, people who were asking some session on trigonometry also. So it included all these kind of questions. Okay, so thanks for attending this session. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.